Hi, Latin 1 students. I am going to now highlight some of the things in the Chapter 1 grammar that you need to pay special attention to. Obviously, you should read everything. By now, you should have familiarized yourself with the Chapter 1 vocabulary list. You should have had a look at the noun chart, although if you haven't, you can do it after this, and maybe the case usage document. All of this will add to the questions for your Chapter 1 grammar quiz. So first of all, let me show you where I am. I'm in the document titled Grammar Notes Chapter 1. I've scrolled down ever so slightly. We looked at this in the last video, the video about terminology. You may have looked at this case video, and then you probably watched the video on the basics of noun declension, and then read down to here, and this is where we're picking up with the video highlights of Chapter 1 grammar. When I get done with this video, I'm going to paste it right in here, and so you will see the link. So I'm going to point out the most important things that you need to look at, and again, you can watch this video and listen to me as many times as you like. So let's start first with the importance of the genitive case. Now, if you remember, a case is the grammatical role of the noun. If you look back at the case usage document, the genitive case is for possession. But I'm going to teach you right now that it's for much, much more than that. When you look in your vocab list, you will see two forms of the word. For example, you might see pater, patris. Let me see if I can open the vocab and we can look at it. Maybe not. Here's your required vocabulary. Now, what I'm going to tell you applies to nouns only. So if it doesn't say noun right here, we're not talking about those words right now. But for all the nouns, you see two forms: canis, canis, familia, familiae, felis, felis, frater, fratris. For all of these, the first one here, and again, just nouns, is the nominative case, and the second one is the genitive case. So frater is nominative, fratris is genitive. Roma is nominative, Romae is genitive, and so on and so forth. Again, this only applies to nouns. So if we go back to our grammar notes, the genitive form in the dictionary entry, and we're counting that vocab list as a dictionary for now because that's all you're getting, it will give you a lot of information. In fact, it gives you two pieces of information. It gives you what declension a noun belongs to. If you don't remember what a declension is, you can scroll right up here. A declension is a group of nouns that work the same way. So it will tell you which declension it belongs to. Here you go. So if the genitive form ends in AE, the noun is first declension. An I ending in the genitive tells you it's second, and an IS is third. Let's look at our vocab list and apply that right now. So if an AE is first declension, look, we have an AE right here. Let me make the font bigger on this for you, so you can see it a little better. I don't know how big I can get it. Well, that's okay for now. So here we have an AE on the end of the genitive case of the noun. So familia is first declension. And then we have an AE on Romae, and we also have an AE on Willa, which means that they're all first declension. Now, if we go back to our grammar notes, it says that an I ending in the genitive form tells you that it's second declension. But if you go up here, you will see that none of these nouns end in I, which means what? Well, what it means is that you don't have any second declension nouns in this chapter, but you will get a bunch of them in Chapter 2. And finally, in our grammar notes, it says the genitives of the third declension will end in IS. You have a bunch of those. Look at them all. Canis, felis, fratris, matris, patris, sororis. All of those will be third declension. You absolutely have to know how to do this by using the genitive singular. You have to be able to tell me what declension a noun belongs to. The other thing that the genitive tells us is that it gives us the stem right here. Here's the word stem, the stem of a noun. So what you do is these endings they talked about up here, the AE, the I, or the IS, you drop it and then you get the stem. So let's go up here, let's go to canis. We would drop this IS and that's the stem of the noun. I'm going to put it back though because you need it. If you go to familiae, you drop the AE and that's the stem of the noun. And that works for any of these endings, the AE, the I, or the IS. Again, we don't have an I because we don't have second declension in this chapter. But if we did, here, let me give you an example. Amicus, amici is a second declension noun. You can tell it's second declension because the genitive here ends in I. If you wanted to find its stem, you would just take off that I and that would be your stem. The reason that you need to know the stem of a noun is because, remember, nouns in Latin change their endings, and you're going to need to be able to change their endings. You can't do that if you can't find the stem. So to recap, two things. The genitive singular of a noun, and again, we're only talking about nouns, not any other parts of speech, tells you what declension a noun belongs to. If it's AE, it's first. If it's I, it's second, which we don't have here. And if it's IS, it's third. And then when you remove that AE, or the IS, or the I, you get the stem of a noun that you can add other endings to. That is the importance of the genitive case. Let's go ahead down and see what we've got. What you have here is a closer look. It's basically everything I just told you, but you should read it anyway. It shows you how to find the base, and it tells you what the nouns look like. And now we're going to talk about the nominative case. The nominative case is used in two ways. It's used for subjects and something called a predicate nominative. A predicate nominative renames the subject. So if we look at this example, Italy is a country. Italy is the subject, so it will be nominative. But the thing that it's saying Italy is country. Country will also be nominative. Anytime you say something is something else, that something else is nominative. If I said my students are smart, my students would be nominative and so would smart, because smart is telling us what the students are. If I said I am a teacher, I am nominative, and so is the word teacher because it's telling me what they are. Now, when you get into noun formation, you have these little bitty charts here. First, second, and third declension, singular nominative and plural nominative. So for singular nominative first declension, it would be an A ending. And you're already given these in the vocab. These are all nominative singular. Again, we're only talking about nouns here. Then you need to know how to add the endings, which means you have to find the stem, which I just showed you how to do with the genitive. So, for example, let's go back here. You can take any first, second, or third declension noun. For example, let's take Roma, Romi, which is first declension. You find the stem, which is ROM, okay? And then you can add this AE ending to make it plural. Remember, this one's the genitive. I know the endings are the same and it's confusing, but it won't be when you learn more cases. The same thing for third declension. If we take frater, fratris, remember how to find the stem, you drop the IS. So our stem would be fratur, like that. And you can add this ES ending to make it plural. I'm going to make a second video about the rest of this grammar, so watch part 2 in a moment.